What's up, people? Welcome to my 200th video. Woo! So, 200th consecutive video, that is, for my daily vlogs. So anyway, this video is going to be a more serious video. Wanted to explain what happened to our family. What happened? Like, why is it just the three of us and that's it? Why can't we see my grandmother even though she's still alive? I understand there's two sides to every story. I get that. And you're only getting my side. But I promise you, under God, this is the full truth. My side is the only side. There's only one side to it, honestly. Hopefully you'll see why. I'm probably gonna leave stuff out. I don't know. I can't remember everything. My mind is blocked out certain things. But I'm gonna try to say everything that I can remember. So basically, it all started when my Aunt Crystal and Uncle Wesley came back from Florida. This is while we were still in New York. They were coming back from Florida, and we were all excited to finally see them after so many years. And they come back, and they seem different. Like, they seem really different. We couldn't really place a finger on it. My mom said that when she hugged her sister, which is Crystal, that she didn't really seem happy about it or anything. But we didn't really think about it at the time. You don't really think about it. You just put it on, toke it up as something like, oh, maybe she had a bad day or something, whatever. But then things started getting really weird with them. It started off slowly at first. And they started acting like how my friend Ryan Card used to act. To where you see him, you run into him, and he'll be all happy and say, hey, what's up and stuff. But then, you run into him a different time, he'll completely ignore you, pretend he never even knew you. And that's kind of how they were acting. At one point, they were only blaming it because they didn't like my stepdad. And they were saying it was just him, and they still like both of us and stuff. But then they started doing it to my mom. And when I met them, when I seen them after a month of us not going over there because they were, they would do that. We wanted to give them a break and stuff. I seen them at the fair, and they acted completely normal how I used to know them. And then they were saying, oh yeah, you should have your mom come over and stuff. We're not against her and all that. So she did, and they finally seen each other again. That was completely fine. And that was the last time that we could see her because we had to go that was when we were moving to Florida. However, just before that, oh shoot. See, that's where I forget. Before the last time, I think, that was when they really wanted to start stuff. My Uncle Fred and Aunt Marion also came down from Florida, like they do every year, to visit. And that's when the lies started. The lies probably started before that, but that's when it really hit us anyway. Was they were telling them that my mom was stealing from my grandma. That was... We're not exactly sure what my grandma said, because she has Alzheimer's. So, at one point, she thought that my stepdad stole all of her underwear and bras and stuff, and then she found them, and she's like, "Oh, never mind," and stuff. It's, you know how, maybe you don't, but how Alzheimer's people are. You know, they can see things that aren't actually there and stuff. Like the one time she's seen a head and no body that was floating on the outside of her window and stuff, and we went to her house and brought her over. But that was before Crystal and Wesley got there. So anyway, she told my uncle, Crystal and Wesley told my uncle that my mom was stealing from Grandma. And so we got a call from Fred, and he was screaming at my mom and stuff because, of course, he only had their story at the time, and their story seemed like my mom was a horrible person, so that made him not want to hear my mom out at all. So we wound up having to bring my grandma's deed to him, or he was going to call the cops and start all this crap. And he was checking the deed to make sure that it wasn't altered or anything, because my grandma had my mom keep her deed safe because she was afraid that she was going to lose it. So anyway, that happened, and that's when we couldn't see Grandma for a couple months and stuff. And then I met her at the fair, and then they said that she could, and we went one more time, and that was when we had to go to Florida after that. So we came down here to Florida. We were able to call Grandma whenever we wanted to, and then all of a sudden we couldn't. Every time we called, it would be a busy thing, or the call would be like the rings would be like really messed up. So we thought that was weird, and it kept doing this for like a week or two. So eventually we called my mom called her phone company and asked, and they said that her phone was shut off completely. Like, her phone number wasn't changed, her phone was shut off. And Crystal wound up doing that. Come to find out, Grandma actually asked them to do that, to shut her phone and TV off, because she didn't need it, because she feels like she needs to save as much money as possible, so shut everything off, pretty much, except for the lights. And so, I mean, to us, we would have known not to do that because she has Alzheimer's, but Crystal and Wesley never believed it. Wesley did, but Crystal didn't, so that happened. We finally were able to track him down, and Grandma wound up being at this random guy's house because she felt she was in love with him after they met at a church, when she went with Crystal and Wesley to the church, and she met this guy, and then apparently they got married out of nowhere without them ever actually knowing each other. That's what Alzheimer's does to you. You don't know, you feel, I don't know. I don't know what she was feeling. I honestly don't. But we were able to call her after my mom wasn't able to talk to her for a while, and so they were crying on the phone and stuff because they were happy they were able to talk to each other. And even the guy that she's now married to, or boyfriend or whatever at the time, was like talking to my mom and was like happy that Grandma was able to talk to her again. And Grandma was talking all this crap about Crystal and Wesley, mainly Crystal, about how Crystal was always screaming at her and all of this stuff. And then the next time that we called his house to talk to her, he said that she wasn't there, even though she was. And we know she was because she can't go anywhere on her own. But every time after that, he kept saying that she wasn't there. Well, no, he didn't even say to try back later. But then one day, we got a call from the police from New York. And apparently, Crystal, Wesley, and the guy that Grandma was with, or is with, I honestly don't know, reporting us for calling his house and saying that we were going to kill him or something. I can't remember what he said. It was like a prank call that he got once, and he didn't know who it was, and Crystal and Wesley told him it was probably us. And then he, of course, believed it because he doesn't know us. He's never seen us in person, and he's seen them every day. So, of course, he believes them, and since he's an older guy, he can't really, I don't know, he probably has something, memory problems too, you never know. Maybe not, I don't know. But then the police said that it would be best if we didn't call them again to save trouble. And that was about 2 years ago. So we haven't, Crystal and Wesley have not allowed us to call my grandma in 2 years. And it's just going to keep growing. It's going to be longer than 2 years. Where we've now lost Crystal and Wesley as family, pretty much, and my grandma because of them. My mom's, of course, upset at this. She talks about it quite a lot, and she dreams about it quite a lot. Now, like I said, I know you only hear my story about it, but to get a perspective of how they are, every person that Crystal and Wesley has come in contact to, after they no longer see them, they talk so bad about them, and those people hate them. So whatever the hell they do to every person they meet, I honestly have no idea. But if you used to know them and no longer do, I guarantee that you don't like them because of whatever lies that they've made up about you. They've made up lies about every single person they've ever met that they no longer see. They don't do it to people that they currently see. They do it once they no longer see you again. Or at least once they expect to never see you again. And I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that. Crystal possibly has the startings of Alzheimer's too, because of the way she acts and the way that she believes pretty much everything with ease. And Wesley is getting disability because his IQ is too low, which I never even knew that was possible. But now compare them both together with an elderly woman with Alzheimer's and, But nobody else sees that. They automatically believe them instead of us, which makes absolutely no sense because we're the critical thinkers. We're the ones that actually think things through. We're the ones that actually seem to have any intelligence in our family. Honestly. I don't mean to talk bad about them, but seriously, that's what it seems like. One person with Alzheimer's, one person that seems like they're going to have Alzheimer's in the future, and one person who has disability because of too low of IQ. That doesn't really seem. Anyway, how bad Wesley is one day when we went to the Quickway, which was the only gas station in that town, in our small town of Morris, because of how small the town is. We only have one gas station. We went there to get subs and soda. And he told me on the way there that while they were in Florida, he used to take Crystal's money and then blame it on one of their friends. And Crystal would believe him right away, instantly. And he would laugh about it. He thought that it was so funny that he could say anything to Crystal, and Crystal would believe him, no problem, no matter how ludicrous the story actually is. Like he said, he even took mail and hid the letters, and told them that either the mailman stole it or their neighbors stole it, because he thought it'd just be funny, and she believed him right away, even though she wouldn't have even known that there were letters in the mailbox to begin with. So that kind of would catch him in the lie if she thought about it at all, but she didn't, and she doesn't. Because how would you know that your mail was stolen if you didn't know you had mail to begin with? You know what I mean? I don't know. But that's the type of people they are, and we've not been able to see my grandma. Well, see, because we're in Florida, but we haven't been able to talk to her. We don't even know if she's alive, honestly. We don't know where she is. Nothing. Sure, my mom would like to comment her side of it. Maybe I can get her side of it tomorrow. Who knows? Since I'm making this video a day early, so hopefully maybe I can get her thoughts on it a little. That'd be great. It'd really add to the video instead of doing it a different day, since this is the video that I was talking about. So yeah, but that's my side of it. So I've probably forgotten things and left things out accidentally, but that's the main thing about it. My Aunt Crystal and Uncle Wesley keeping my grandma that I've seen since I've been born all the way until 20 years old. And now I can't because of them. Can't talk to her or nothing. That's the type of people they are. Anyway, I'll see if she can be on video sometime today or tomorrow about this as well. So either I'll see you tomorrow or you'll see her in this video.